A couple of days ago, I was walking around a new city. I was out enjoying the sights and sounds that come from experiencing new things when all of a sudden my phone buzzed. I looked down at the screen and noticed an airdrop message. T wants to share an image with you. Now, I like experiencing new things, but potentially being hacked is not something that's on my priority list. Unfortunately though, that's how easily someone could get access to my personal data. If I had accepted that invitation, I could have allowed the person to install malware, because anything that allows access to your phone can be used to hack it. The Apple AirDrop feature or the Quick Share for Android devices lets you connect your phone or device directly to another through Bluetooth. So not only can your device be hacked through these features, it's even easier than through the internet. Now, I know a number of organisations now have their staff use mobile phones or tablets to access their client management systems for rostering. So let's talk about cybersecurity for your organisation, because you hold some pretty sensitive personal information on your clients or residents. Hi, I'm Carrie from Culturally Directed Care Solutions, where we give you the knowledge and tools to provide quality care with confidence. If aged care is your thing, then consider subscribing so you can stay up to date with the latest in industry concepts and reforms. As an aged care provider or person working in the industry, you hold or have access to a lot of sensitive personal information about the clients that you care for. And you should be continually monitoring processes on how this information is managed or handled to protect clients or residents. But first up, what is sensitive information? Well, to provide quality care, aged care organisations need to collect a fair amount of personal information. This is likely to include information on the person's health status, their finances and perhaps investments, their family, their residential status, absences from their home, and how vulnerable they are. So you can imagine how devastating it would be for an older person if this information were to fall into the wrong hands. Serious issues could arise, including elder abuse or targeted fraud. And that's why the information that's held about a client is considered sensitive personal information, and it's critical that you handle it with integrity and care. When we refer to sensitive information, we also include an organisation's commercially sensitive records or documents that relate to the business operations. This is information that has economic value, and if disclosed to another party, may lead to economic harm to the business. Commercially sensitive information extends to that which could adversely impact the organisation's reputation as well. And don't forget that the aged care organisation also holds personal information on you, the employee. In the past, this information would have been locked away behind an office door or in filing cabinets. In this day and age though, having filing cabinets full of paperwork has become a bit of a dinosaur. Yes, you might still have some key documents that you keep on hand as a daily reference or as a backup in case of computer outages, but paperless offices are becoming the norm. Most aged care organisations will have an electronic client management system or CIMS. This system has become essential for storing and accessing up-to-date information on clients or residents, generating care plans, planning for rostering of staff, and for maintaining client progress notes. Many of these systems can also upload data directly into portals to comply with essential reporting requirements, which minimises the amount of work involved in the whole reporting process. And alongside the client information management system, a lot of organisations will have an electronic human resource system, data storage platforms, compliance logging platforms, intranets, and of course email has become the default system for sending messages and communicating between stakeholders. A high number of aged care services probably also use social media platforms to disseminate information to clients and their families, or as a promotion and engagement tool. We can't get around using these systems. They're useful. They make our job easier and more efficient, and they support transparency. And used correctly and with the right permission settings and protections, they are tools to protect sensitive information held by organisations. But to do this, you need to ensure that your cybersecurity practices are sound and regularly updated or reviewed. And everyone has a part to play in this. Your governing body and your management team should understand the importance of having systems and processes in place that protect personal and sensitive information, and processes should be in place. This awareness should actually flow down through the team, from the coordinators, registered nurses and care staff, through to cleaners, kitchen staff, and the contractors that you work with. So what cyber practices can be put in place to protect sensitive information held by the organisation? Well, password protected access to systems. All your organisational systems should be password protected, and they should use a unique password for each system or platform and regularly be updated. Each person accessing the system should also have their own password and understand good password management practices, like not repeating passwords across different platforms, and not using common passwords like 123 ABC, and updating those passwords regularly. Never leave devices like computers, tablets and phones unattended without first logging out or locking them. Store them away in a secure location if that's necessary, and even if you think you'll only be gone for a minute, sometimes in aged care we get tied up responding to an incident that we thought was only going to take a minute or two. So learn how to log out of a system or put it to sleep quickly in case you need to dash off. If you have a visitor in your office or at your workstation, make sure that any sensitive information is not able to be viewed by the person. Close down your laptop, angle the screen away from the person, or turn on a screensaver. If you store or back up information onto an external hard drive, make sure that the information is either encrypted or password protected, especially if you're taking it off site. You don't want to lose the hard drive and inadvertently expose that sensitive information to anyone who finds it. Keep your operating systems, applications and browsers up to date. Activate automatic updating where possible to make sure that you're getting the latest patches that are often developed to address potential hacking of systems. Make sure you have up-to-date antivirus installed on your devices. Antivirus programs are designed to prevent or identify and take action against malicious software on a computer or device. Once malware is on your computer, it can lock you out of your data by encrypting it, or it can delete it altogether. Antivirus can also be a good way to minimize the amount of that annoying spam that gets through to your inbox. Check that your firewall is turned on. Firewalls can be installed on an individual computer or across a network. Firewalls control the flow of information in and out of a system. That's why they sometimes cause problems when you want to add an application or program to your computer. Now, I know it's a nuisance, but permission to disable a firewall should sit with an administrator who understands and can mitigate any risks involved in opening up a system. In a networked system, even one vulnerable computer can create a gateway for malware to enter and go across that whole network. Also, don't download programs from untrusted sites, because these may be a host for malware. that will then automatically install on your computer, compromising your security. Same goes for attachments or links from emails that come from an unsolicited source. Don't click on them. Any valuable and personal information should be backed up regularly in case of a malware or ransomware attack, which can happen even if you have an encrypted system. If a hacker accesses your system and locks you out of it, you want to be able to access an up-to-date backup so that you can get back up and running while you sort out the breach. Consider carefully who needs to have access to sensitive information and how much of it do they actually need. I mean, it is important that care staff have access to some essential information about a client or resident that they care for, but there's a lot of personal information that would be unrelated to their role. So check the permission level of the systems and adjust them to match the staff roles and responsibilities. And all staff should be educated on the appropriate use of any information they have access to. They need to understand the importance of logging off after accessing databases. They need to know your policies and procedures that protect organisational information. And they should be made aware of phishing scams and ways to avoid exposing the organisation and sensitive information inadvertently. Where staff have access to sensitive client information on their phones or a tablet, perhaps through their roster, make sure you educate and reinforce the need for them to password protect their mobile device. And I would recommend that they use a different password to access any client management systems on their device, because how many people pass over their phone to another family member or friend to make a phone call or play a game? It happens. Remove access to systems as part of the exit process of a departing employee. While the person's probably not going to have access to their emails or internal systems after they've left, I still sometimes find people registered and potentially able to access client information on platforms months after they've left an organisation. Make sure that this crucial step is part of your exit process, and think about suspending access when a person is on extended leave from the organisation. I mean, do they really need access to the system if they're on 6 months long service leave? Now, I know that's a lot to take in and think about when it comes to cybersecurity, but it really is an important aspect of quality care and support of vulnerable clients. Check what systems and processes you already have in place, what policies are already in your suite that cover this area. And if you're seeking up-to-date policies and procedures, including ones on managing sensitive information for residential aged care or community care settings, then check out the Total Quality Package from CDCS, which includes a full suite of policies and procedure templates that you can easily adapt for your organisation. Click on the link below in the description box below to book a time to discuss any of your organisation's needs, or head over to the shop and purchase your 12-month subscription to these valuable resources and much more. So that's cybersecurity. I hope that's helped you to understand a bit more about what you can do to keep your clients' information safe, and your staff and your organisations as well. Until the next video, stay safe, keep caring, and I'll see you soon.